Calimera. Good morning. My name is Ignacio. I'm from Spain. Background in telecommunication engineering, working in R&D projects since 2009. First of all, I want to thank RefMAP and Leads for all the organization of this session. As we are late, I just want to bring what is my expertise and bring another point of view. I've been coordinating, let's say, one of the projects funded by CINEA in 2020, Flight Forward 2020, that is already over. But I also had the opportunity to collaborate with DigiConnect from another perspective. So working with cities and municipalities to understand what is the role of digital twins and what is the role of data spaces. Okay, so I want to bring here one of the opportunities that I see, because I remember very well back in 2019 when I got a call from Microsoft. We need to work on urban air mobility. They bring me to the ecosystem. We funded Flying Forward. We thought 2025 we are going to be
flying.
Yeah, we are here and we still are we have the first demos, right? And we know there are many challenges about regulation, safety. There are many challenges that we need to overcome. But I want to bring one of those opportunities that I have already identified in the last 3 years that can be boosted to the ecosystem when we invest in R&D, of course, and all these priorities from the European Commission, but also from national administration, but more from the demand side. So, in changing the topic, so I'm going to bring to you, not only now, but also on the panels that I will be part of, what is the synergies in between the demand side from cities and the aviation sector. And this comes together in digitalization. Okay? So, we all know right now we are in a climate crisis, so cities has a lot of pressure to overcome those challenges they are facing. And there is a mission led by the European Commission that is climate neutral and smart city. They are working towards changing how cities are acting. So instead of being reactive and solving problems, they should be able to anticipate those problems and how to recover from the crisis we are already in. And this is where it comes. Not only the mission, we have a climate neutrality goal. Athens is one of the 100 climate neutral cities, for example. We have more than 100 and is already starting to multiply. So it's not only the 100, there are also multiplied cities that are already taking that role. And how we bring together the technological transformation, the digital transformation of the cities in order to overcome these challenges. And I want to bring here what is the concept of a digital twin. Digital twin is not a fancy 3D map of the city. It's a livable city virtual representation. So it needs constantly getting updated data from the city, from different levels. So it's mobility, it is society, citizens, it is environmental, everything that comes together into a city where we all live comes together in order to be able to simulate and predict what will happen. Right? If we compare it to the aviation simulators, where you say, okay, well, if I fly from this point to this point, how is the route? So we take that concept to the cities. What if I change all the city center to be pedestrian and there is no cars coming, and then I got this urban air mobility inside, on the top of the city, no? So you can simulate in order to take faster and evidence decisions. So it's a dynamic real-time platform for simulation and decision making. So this helps municipalities, decision makers, to implement new policies and new strategies. Before I go to this point, I've been part of one European initiative, European Local Digital Twins. We have been promoting local digital twins in the 27 member states. We have been in contact with hundreds of cities, mayors, IT departments, to understand what is the real need. Not only that, I also was part of the European data spaces for a smart city where all the data, all the governance model of data to be shared is being built. So I'm going to bring you two market opportunities that I see is real right now. So there are already opportunities to try to overcome the challenges that we are facing to develop the market. The first one is US as data engine. So cities are already investing in the digital twins, and even though they have data from fixed sensors or satellite images, they are still, in order to build a digital twin, they need very specific and granulate data from the cities. It means buildings, streets, many like noise. I see also from RefMap, you also have different models, right? You gather data as well. And this is something that cities are already demanding. So you see that when they are building digital twins, and there are several examples in Madrid, Rotterdam, Brussels, so mainly the big cities, I think Athens as well, they are starting to contract urban air mobility services in order to monitor and get granulate data. But that's not only once. This needs to be done every now and then. So there is a market opportunity for the industry in order to provide services. As I said, it's real-time monitoring, air quality, noise, temperature. So in RefMap, of course, you are developing those models, but this goes a step further, right? So how to really gather the data, how to bring all this data together, how we make this data available for your models, AI models, no? I think also Georges was talking about new AI models. So, but we need the data. The data is from the city. There are challenges to gather all that data that can be as an input for the models in the aviation-based industry. And then there is another opportunity. So we have been working to promote digital twins. And urban air mobility is one of those services that cities are still seeing that very far away. They cannot think about services nowadays. They think it's something that will come. I told you at the beginning, Microsoft told me, no, in 2025 we will see drones everywhere. No, this is not happening. Why? Because decision makers cannot really move forward. They don't know how to procure new technology. They don't know how to simulate and see what is the effect. It's very difficult from their side to understand what is the value of this technology. Even though they understand, they don't have the capacity at the moment to really budget a portion of the budget in order to promote it. So what about if we use, but because they are ready to implement digital twins, what about if we work together with digital twin industry to be able to simulate what will be the change in the cities if we fly drones instead of using cars? Or what about services that are implemented in road transport mode, we do it with air mobility, right? So just getting all those models that you, in RefMap, I think you are developing some of them, but there are other projects that are already working on digitalization of this different system. Why don't we try to bring it together to the cities in the digital twins? And there is a European initiative that is the European Digital Toolbox that will help to bring together digital twin technology and data spaces, to bring also the aviation, all those models that you are preparing in order to showcase to the decision makers what is the impact so they can already invest in the deployment of the market. This is a small detail. So flying forward is already over. It's a project that has been completed. One of the innovations that we brought together here is that we were not focusing on the infrastructure, urban air mobility infrastructure itself. We were more looking into the digitalization side because we identified that there are many challenges related to regulations, basically. So we have 5 living labs: Eindhoven, Oulu, Tartu, Hospedale San Rafael in Milano, and Zaragoza. We were able to test several flights with drones over those 5 cities, very successfully, I would say, each of them with a different scope. And the innovation that we brought are governance frameworks, procurement templates, so also to be closer to the public sector, how to procure this technology, interoperability and regulatory blueprints, because we have also the interoperability at European level that came into force last year, and then also a spatial web platform. So identifying, if you want to simulate, you need to identify every single object in the city, the buildings, the lamps, the antennas, everything. So how do you do that? You need to have IDOT system in order to be able how to the drones will interact with the city. So right now this is already available. Everything is available in Flying Forward website. I recommend you also to take a look. There are several reports, white papers that they will be a good input for you. And these are the both takeaways that I wanted to bring. No? So for the short-term market, I see two possibilities. One of them is data engines. US has data engines, and the second one is local digital tools to power evidence-based decision making to boost the market uptake of urban air mobility. And I think I did it very fast. Just to save some time.
Don't worry.
Thank you. And I think the important thing is that today and tomorrow I will bring to this panel, this ecosystem, a little bit of my view on the digitalization side, on the city side, so I can give you also some inputs from that one.
Thank you. Yeah, so we have DG Move and we have someone who has been working for DG Connect. So we have two DGs represented, and the insights and the combination, of course, is very crucial. I have a question for you, but I want to first address the audience if there are any questions. Oh, two questions. Go ahead, Sotiri.
Thank you, Ignacio. It was very insightful presentation. My question is that in order to reach this digital twin solution, in a realistic manner, as you described it, we need continuous data flows from the cities. We need continuous analysis, CFDs, either in low resolution, usually considered high performance. So, is Europe ready from the infrastructure point of view? Because I'm a computing guy, right? Are we ready from an infrastructure point of view, or from service point of view, high performance service point of view, or AI factors to support this type of, and if not, is some way to push towards this direction? Because this is underrepresented in the high performance community.
Yes.
The European Commission is working on that. So there are several initiatives. One of them is the European Toolbox, European Digital Toolbox is called. So they are building open source framework to develop digital twins that goes all the way together with the AI factories. Okay, so you see there is already several initiatives at the same time, because that one is also linked to the smart cities data spaces. There are being piloting right now. There are pilots. Of course, all the pilots are the big cities. And the challenge, I think, is how to replicate that in other small cities where they don't have the infrastructure. And the intention from DG Connect is to provide those services from a centralized point of view. So instead of each municipality having to procure the individual services, they will aggregate, centralize everything. So it's cheaper and faster to implement that. So not reinventing the wheel, just using what has been already developed and using the frameworks. All those frameworks are developed in open source and in an interoperable way. So we are getting ready. We are not there, but I think the Digital Twin Toolbox is being launched in 2026 with the first pilots. And the AI factories are already being published, but they still need a lot of work to do. Thank you.
Thank you. And Yanni, you also had a question.
Thank you for the presentation. I want to stand on the toolbox that you just talked about. Is there any plan for any decision support system in the DSS based on the Unity Labs or all this data that you have from the 5 cities that you are running? Or because you said policymakers that don't have capacity or they are reluctant for the market uptake of these kind of things. So is there any basis foreseen for them to quantify the benefits and say, okay, these are very good for us and for us to use?
Not at the moment, I would say. It's something we need to work.
How's the next one?
Yeah, I think, as I think George just mentioned the societal readiness, but I think there is also a need to make all these KPIs available for the demand side, that are cities and municipalities.
Yes.
Yeah, I have a question. Do you have an example of the city inside your network where digital twin has been already used for a very small,
Yes.
for to take some action in terms of not only UAVs but in general for the greener mobility inside the city? In which way was useful, or what are the limits that you encountered during the application of digital twin in this particular case?
The main challenge is data. If data is not updated, it's not accessible, you cannot simulate anything. But the good thing is that mobility is one of the areas where we have been monitoring data since a long time. Barcelona, Madrid, Tallinn, Rotterdam, Brussels. There are many cities that are already implemented that. Maybe they don't have the full city digital twin, but they have maybe the centric part of the city. And they can mobility is a very good example. It's the one that I think it goes faster because they can simulate what is the impact, for example, of closing one road, changing the direction, for example, and they can simulate different parameters like noise, CO2 emissions, and they are using it already. So very small scale, but the potential is already there.
So the pilots are starting now, so no decision has been taken yet based on the local digital twin.
Yeah, I don't really know, but
Okay, but it's like milestone
yes,
to
yes.
come.
And then there are also industry partners that are already providing these services to cities. So it's not something that is still on the research. We have already industrial partners, SMEs, startups that are already providing these services to the cities.
Yeah.
Are there some cities that don't want to share the data, or
No, I think everyone is working. I think the challenge right now is how to make all the different data sets available and interoperable, and that they can communicate in order to be able to build the digital twin in a proper way. And that's why the concept of data spaces that the European Commission is also promoting under the Digital Europe program is also funding several pilots.
Yeah.
A lot of millions of euros to develop the data spaces for different areas.
Yeah. Any comment from you, Joanna? On
No.
DG Connect plans?
I'm learning as well.
Okay.
And who's in charge of giving this data there? The municipalities, not the central government, right?
It depends. It could be municipality. It could be also private entities that want to release the data because they have sensors or they have any other information. And there are also some data that can come from a municipality and from a national level. And we have been working on that. So every country needs to follow the open data regulation. There are open data platforms that are already available. Need to be better regulated and promoted,
Yes.
but the technology is there, no? And I think I was talking with Constantine about technologies out there. Is how we find a way now to let the market grow.
Yeah. So funding has been given to here and there. So it is public money, so the data should be freely available, but it's now here and there. But there is a plan for all the data to be like in one place, or at least accessible through one place. That's what you said.
Exactly. And when you talk with cities, all the data part is really covered, almost
Okay.
by not only large cities but also small cities. They already know, they are already implementing it with the challenges. When you talk about digitalization, when you talk about digital twin, when you talk about data spaces, it's more complex. Still, the lead ones, the big ones, are the ones that have proper personnel to do it.
Yeah, of course. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone.